sequencing emotion in a delicate formation. Numerology's wisdom is a language of vibration. Welcome to the Numerology Hour. Host Kelly Brickle is a numerologist, psychic medium, and teacher. Her passions are learning about the soul and energy. Whether it's working with spirit, emotion, or vibrational numbers, precision and heart always enters the equation. Now, here is your host of the Numerology Hour, Kelly Brickle.
Hello, everybody. I'm Kelly Brickle, and this is the Numerology Hour on Sacred Spiral Network. Thank you for joining me today. We started a little bit later today, and that's just how it went. Sometimes you gotta nurture a stomach ache, gotta nurture and nurse yourself a little bit, but back we go. Giddy up. That's what I say. Okay, so back in the house. We had Debbie on earlier. Always fun to see Debbie do her thing. She's a little fireball. And hello, everybody coming in. Hello, Jessie Cat. Hello. We're going to be doing questions and also readings. I'm going to talk a little bit about numbers. And then that's what we do on this show. We just have fun along with it. And as a numerologist, something that I specialize in is recognizing number patterns and recognizing how to read that and interpret that. So there are patterns all around us within the world. And some of us are very natural with working with those. It's just we wouldn't call ourselves intuitive, or we identify ourselves as intuitive truly. It's just what's your pattern, okay? Some people do it with the stock market and they see trends, right? Or in the retail market, it could be anything, or with homes, with buying, with mortgages. Like, my goodness, there's all kinds of patterns that make the world go around, and how people go, I knew it was going to hit, or I knew it was going to be like this. And that is how we tune in. There's a trail of information ready to be found. And I do believe that within life, we all have the ability to tap into energy, and we can use it in not just highly personalized ways. Reading someone's energy and just knowing something about them. You don't have to know about a person to be intuitive. You can know about an object, a trend. You can know about a tool. There's so many different things. Hello, Samantha. Hello. So let's get into it. One of my favorite uses with numerology is identifying cycles. And we don't talk about that as much sometimes within numerology, but there are cycles everywhere. Speaking of patterns, hello, Maggie. Hello. And cycles within numerology, they break down to the day, the month, and the year. And there's further cycles than that. So cycles are very technical. And within people's birth dates, you largely understand what they're going through within the year, the archetype, also within the month. And it changes all the time. So, we're this amalgamation of energy experiencing certain lessons through our energy in certain ways. And sometimes the people in our life line up with our patterns, and sometimes they do not line up within their patterns. Sometimes it's only for a season, and sometimes it's much more than that. So it's very, very fascinating. And I do feel like within our lives, there's a lot of times where we go, gosh, the energy is weird outside, or gosh, I feel strange on the inside. And whether it's astrology or numerology or some other system, it really invites us to have back some control. Now, we have to do our part to make sure what we're looking at is accurate. If a system's not accurate for you, there's no reason to even look at it. It's just information. So it's not just numerology in itself, it's not just astrology within itself or a deck of cards within itself. It has to give you a lifeline to understanding life. But once you start to do it, life becomes much easier because you start to go, oh, I understand this cluster of energy, I understand that cluster of energy. So within numerology, something I like to remind people with is their cycles, and we talk about it just really briefly with in readings, but we don't ever talk about really what it is. And cycles are when you see the person going through a certain high or a certain low within that month. And that certain high or certain low is going to bring up about certain emotions in certain situations. And now every number means something archetypically. And so let's say you're going through a cycle of one. That means, and you could be going through that within your year or your month at the same time, even. Okay. You could have a double one. It's very possible. It's not usually what happens, but it does happen enough. Um, and so you're looking at the year or the month or even the day sometimes. And it lets you know, hey, I'm going to have a lot of one energy. Now, that might be really good for your chart or not good for your chart. This all goes back to your personalized chart when you're doing personal numerology. And but it's going to make you feel like that you're raring to go, that you have like a second hope within life, that you're inventive, creative, innovative. Your mind feels much more calm and clear, so much that you can kind of just do things, and your body seems more apt. So you feel truly refreshed. It's a nice feeling. It's a nice feeling to feel that every once in a while. And luckily, that doesn't have to just come once every 9 years for a person. It can happen throughout the year if you have a monthly cycle of one, two as well. I'm going to jump around, but if someone has, let's say, a six cycle of six, that means their year, if you're looking at a yearly cycle, will comprise constantly of going back to the understanding of what's supposed to be within my life on a very personal level. Who's supposed to be their family and friends? And what situations do I keep finding myself in where I go, wow, this really doesn't work for me anymore? Or thank God this person is here. So it's a very emotional year. Um, but you can't just look at it in terms of yourself. You have to look at it as who is connected to you and what is good for your health. And largely, it is emotional health. Okay. And this really sets off a cycle for other changes that need to happen around you, not just within you, but around you, how you affect others and others affect you. And you have to stand up for yourself in a new way and understand how others appreciate you and you appreciate others. Okay. Hello, Mandy. Let me say hello to everybody. Hello, Mandy. It's great to see you. Mandy was a guest on just last week. She was fantastic. We were going into meditation. Hello, Stephanie. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Iris. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Zoe. Hello. Oh, shout out to Zoe too as well. Hello. Hello, Maggie again. Hello. So, with that said, let's do one last example. So I'm going to jump to 9. So if you are in a month of 9 or year of 9, let's kind of talk about that for a little bit. If you are in a year of 9, you're going to be dealing with themes of your life needing to wrap itself up in a certain area. And you don't really choose this. All of a sudden, there's resolution that comes from friends or family. Okay, 9 is an archetype that deals a lot of times with family more so than friends. This could be regarding close friends. And these are ties from the past. These are karmic connections that seem to follow us, and they are a part of us very naturally and deeply. And so it might be with others. And also, since 9 embodies all the qualities of the other numbers, it might involve ourselves too. What have we not been willing to let go? What have we not been able to let go? And we find, just like kind of within the 1, there's this new, refresh energy that starts coming in. Now, it doesn't feel like it wholly just yet, but you notice things are changing where you go, wow, that's a different pace of life, or wow, it seemed like that problem kind of lifted itself off. And there's almost this momentum because life starts breaking up for you to become renewed again. So, nine is a number of transformation, death, metaphorical and actual. And your life starts changing before you because it says, okay, it's time. It's time for the next phase of yourself. And you'll find yourself thinking and feeling differently. You'll find yourself being able to have perspectives easily that maybe you've always tried to have, but it's been a little bit difficult. Or you'll notice that within your friendships or family, there are all these understandings that then all of a sudden they treat you differently too. And you're like, what did it take to come to that? Well, it's the closing of a cycle, it's the closing of a lesson. And archetypically, the nine will guide that. It will say, okay, you're done with this chapter now. You're done with this chapter. And we will scratch our heads. And only if we do have this understanding will we go, well, actually, it does seem like things like that have, come around in that fashion. Oh my goodness. And so when somebody is in touch with their cycle numbers or certain phases within their life, they go, wow, um, I do feel refreshment. Um, or I do feel like things are closing, or I do feel like more emotional. And there's these major themes that come out, and you can prepare even and get control back within your life and say, I have this coming up. Now, I don't know 100% how it's going to play out ever, but if I know that it's coming up within me, I know that this isn't random. This is right on time. And within people's charts, their emotions, their feelings, their lessons are truly right on time. And if they can just be responsible with understanding, okay, well, this seems to be the cycle of something greater than myself that apparently I signed up for, they can ride that wave a little bit easier. So, with that said, we'll talk about cycles a little bit more in readings today, too. So, let's get into it. That's one of the reasons I love numerology. You get to have a look into your life and go, oh, that's why that happened. It's funny like that. Okay. So, hello, Stephanie. Hello, hello, hello. All right. Hello, Michael Christopher. It's great to see you. Shout out to Michael Christopher. Okay. So let's open up the space for readings. We're doing numerology readings. If you'd like to be read, pop down your numbers. That lets me know you are open to being read. It lets me know you consent to having a reading. And if you can put down your month, your day, and your year, and if you can just write out your year, excuse me, write out your month, like May, for instance. May as opposed to the number five. So I just make sure I have your day and your month in the right order. Okay. And that's how it'll go. If you have a number question too, I'm happy to take it. Someone just popped on 1111. So if you have a question about that, please ask it. You'd be surprised what comes out in just those sequences. Okay, so pop down your numbers, or say you'd like to have a reading, and I'll go to you. And please put at least your month and your day, and write out your month so I make sure I get it in the right order. Okay, and away we go. All right, I'm gonna go to Iris first. Okay, let's get everything ready. Maybe I'll take a sip of tea. And if you have a question along with, I guess, how you want to be read, please pop it down. There's a lot of general information that comes up in somebody's birth chart, but if they also ask a specific question, the numbers do highlight why they would make certain decisions or what certain energy they're dealing with at the specific time. So it's very fascinating. All right. So, Iris. Okay, so you're December. Thank you for being open. I appreciate it. So, Iris, you are attitude 6. You are personal day 3, and you are a life path of 3 as well. Let me just double check. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Yep, that's correct. And then your cycle is you're in a 5. Okay. All right. And we are done with April and we're in May. I'm trying to tell my brain we're in May for first day of May. Isn't that interesting? Okay. So, all right. So you're in a cycle of, oh, cool. I love it. I want to know if I'd be a good healer. I love it. Okay. You're in a cycle of 5. So let's talk about your energy a little bit, Iris. You're in a cycle of 5, and that means a time of great change. And so I have part of your numbers. I don't have all your numbers, but this requires you to be really flexible and open to trying new things. So it's really cool because when people are in cycles of 5, a lot of times they add a skill where it's active within their life or they change career, so there's a longing or urge to change and become something different, to try something different. So it's really within the vein of things you're wondering, well, what I will I be this? Well, go out and try. Go out and just try because it's in the name of 5, and 5 loves to try things. Now, just looking at your energy though, so you're a 633. And so this means actually you're fantastic with people. You're very responsible for people. You want to go above and beyond for people. You look after people. And within the role of being a healer, people put a lot of faith and they're very vulnerable and they want to come to somebody that would take care of them and pay attention to them. And your numbers are very good like that. Okay. So your numbers are excellent for taking care of a person and making sure that you'll be honorable to them with that attitude 6. Okay, it's a very nurturing placement. I'm saying hi to everybody coming on in. Yes, hi Debbie. Hello, hello, hello. Um, hello, hey Courtney. Okay, and you are a life path 3. So this is always very fascinating because whether it's um, known or not, um, someone who has a life path 3 needs to be in a capacity where they are sharing and that people can learn from them. Okay. And honestly, the bigger the better. So, you being a healer would be great with one on one, but actually, you being a healer and um, teaching people about healing or talking about healing or getting classes going where there's a group or even getting something online going talking about healing or energy. That's very, very good because 3 is I have to speak and people are supposed to listen. And if you find yourself within an environment, within family or friends where this is not the case, that is a sign where you were in the wrong environment. Maybe sometimes we have to be in certain environments to survive or to be momentarily, but um, a life path 3 is supposed to be an environment where people look to you and learn from you, from your energy and enthusiasm and the happiness that you have sharing whatever talent or belief that you have. Okay. So it's very important to shake things up. It's very important to try things out, even if they're scary, and say to yourself, will I like this? I think I will. Let's do this. So you have to develop talents that light you up and then share those talents, and you will always have the most fulfillment. Even if you've been scared to do these things, you will have the most fulfillment in this area. That is what a life path is for. It will say, if you go this way, you're going to have a lot of growth and you're going to feel like you are on the path. You're going to know it in your bones. Okay. So I really like looking into being a healer. I really, really like that. I really like you even teaching people about intuition in general. And I do feel like also to understand how beneficial May is to have this happen for you. So May, you are in a 1 month. okay? You're in a cycle 5 year, but you're in a 1 month. So even though we just started, it's going to make you feel like, okay, I'm ready to do something now. It's not just a thought. I'm ready to do it. And yeah, like I feel like I don't know how, but I feel like I can get this done in a certain way. I feel like this is a good idea now. Okay. So, and then you said that this totally resonates. I always have people reaching out to me. Yeah, I mean, they're sweet numbers to have. When you have sixes and threes, people are very social with you, and you are social with people, and you can lead that because exactly right, people come to you. Okay. So you wouldn't have a problem generating buzz or business or people coming to you. And it feels very natural. Sometimes, like, I want to say this to everybody. Sometimes people, like, whether you know it or you have to go, okay, yeah, I actually do those things. I never thought about it like that. Think about the things that just happen around you. And I'm talking about everybody for a second. I'm pausing. I'm gonna go back to Iris in about a minute, but I'm pausing for everybody. If there's anything that comes to you with ease, like people just always ask you advice or people ask you for help, um, you find that you're always problem solving for people or that you have information that you're giving to improve people's lives. If that's easy for you, use it within your career because you're already using that energy. And if it's difficult for you, yeah, like that's a different story. But if it's easy for you and if it's already happening within your life, compound it with what you're wanting to do and just let it explode. Your career should be easy if you can make it happen. So, if you're in a place to finally make something happen different for yourself, because sometimes it takes time, um, you should merge what you already have and what's already of ease to you, as you're still developing other things. Get paid, get attention, or get the momentum going to what you want to do anyway, even if it doesn't involve money. And if you know that people follow you and are curious about what you're doing anyway, you just got, 3 people in your class. You just got 4 people within your intuitive development of you're all going to learn together at the same time. And maybe you're just more responsible for leading it to make sure it's at a location, it's at a time, um, that you're a little bit more aware of having to deal with the group if someone has a time issue or disagreement. Okay. So you will lead, but maybe you all feel like you're in a similar area. So it's just like there's many different ways to get this going. Hey everybody. Let's see, Stephanie. Yes, people find it very easy to ask me for money. Well, you can use that to your advantage, that's for sure. And you probably have eights somewhere in your chart. Um, let's see, and twos, I wouldn't be surprised. Hey, get it. Boom. Love this. I like this. All right. So Iris, what I'm saying, I want to go back to you. So last month, if you can understand Iris, this is what you wanted to do too. And it was rising. It's already been rising for some time, but it was rising within you. But it was just too much was happening. Too much was happening, or it was like you didn't have the proper energy, even though you're like, I'm on board with this. And this month, you're like, okay, let's go figure out how to do this. Let's go figure out how to do this. So you have great energy to be dealing with people. I would get out there, learn some skills, and figure out how you want to do it. You have great energy to deal with people. You have great energy to do energy work and to look into healing. So, I'm giving you thumbs up on it. Giving you thumbs up on it. Okay. So I'm going to go to Courtney. Let's see. Hello, everybody. Courtney. All right. You're 822, 1992. So you're an attitude 3. You're a personal day 4. And you are a life path 6. Yep, that's right. And then you are in a cycle of 2. And let's just see this. All right. In May, you're in a 7. So, all right. This is a year that is a little bit trickier, if you can understand, Courtney, but it's boding a lot of growth and understanding. Okay. So you're in a cycle of 2, you're in a year cycle of 2. And this is a lot about, let's see, I've written down the last time we did this to compare. Cool. Let's do it. So, um, this is a cycle of 2 that you're in this year. And so it's a much more emotionally invested time where you have to really go, okay, what have I been avoiding? What have I been avoiding within my life up until this point where the problems are broadcasting at me? Because I feel like you've already had to deal with problems this year that haven't just been about yourself. So you've been like, well, okay, I'm just going to go and roll through the punches. And those didn't affect you as much because you're like, well, that's other people, even though it's been hard. And I do have to look at how I'm handling and taking all this on because sometimes I take on too much. But as it actually you can understand this, thank you, as it gets turned on to you when you start experiencing the year and going, well, yes, it didn't quite bother me the same way, but now I'm looking at myself and I feel like what have I brought, on myself? Even though I actually pay attention, I, try to balance my life, try to even balance my health, try to even go and above beyond for people around me. And I find myself in certain situations, and those situations um, are connected to things that you've done before that you've been avoiding. And you go, oh my gosh, this sucks. You go, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. This is really, really bothering me. Okay. Thank you for understanding this. And so this gets kicked up additionally, if you can understand this month, some of this. Okay. And in May, because first day of May, we're in a place where you get to sit and look at that in a deeper place. Um, May, you're in a 7 energy. May, you're in 7 energy and it just started. And the month allows you for things to kind of fall away a little bit. So it's going to be a slower month. It might be like, hey, this feels weird, but it's kind of what you need to have the time to look at what needs to change. And first, you have to like mentally sit with it and to also feel it because you're in the 2 cycle and do the work. So it's like really psychological deep digging. Um if you can make sure that you turn off the internet, turn off your phone, and just sit with yourself. If you can journal, sure, but just sit with yourself and maybe journal afterwards of this is what I found so I can make sure I remember. Um, but sit with yourself and go, I need to really, really have a different plan of action because it ain't cutting it, even though I have good intentions. Okay. You are in yeah, I'm going to say it like this. So, you have a lot of natural enthusiasm within your life. You want to do well, you want to be successful, you want to bring the best to people. And do feel like you have a very good eye for precision. And it's funny because it's like you're quite serious, but you're really upbeat at the same time. You said, "Yes, yes, I do. It is a curse, I think." No, it's not. It's not. You just have to be in an area where people respect your precision. For people who don't respect your precision, it can seem very critical. But with how you're developing yourself and having accountability for yourself and making changes, you will put yourself in a place where you can't miss being around the proper energy. When we look at the places that we have overlooked and said, oh, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe I'll work on that next month, we get up to speed with our energy. We get up to our speed with our energy that has been in the darkness, and we go, "Oh, this part needs to be reconfigured," and we get really, really, honest and really strong and really congruent with our energy, and so those, like, kind of random things where we're like, "Well, why wasn't that hitting?" Well, our energy was scattered, and so you're gonna get your energy together, and you're going to assert yourself, and people are gonna feel that off of you too and say, "Hey, like, you got great vibes, come over this way." So, yes, yes. So last year helped you with that ambition, if you can understand. And so we're cultivating it still this year, but you have to just make sure that you are looking the part and feeling the part. So health is really, really paramount. Health is really paramount. So focusing on sleep and food and repair for your body so you can have enough energy to tackle what you need to do. That is what we're working on because there's a lot of good intentions, but the energy is very scattered. Okay. Hey, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. Um, there's an understanding that comes into play now this year that you have what you need and now it's just taking care of yourself so you have enough energy for what comes next. And that's what it is. You already know what you want to do. It's just sometimes you go, well, I don't have the energy for it. Why isn't it not working? Well, you need a higher energy load. And so you have to take care of yourself in a deeper way, emotionally, mentally, and physically, with how you're good to your body. And all of your energy will return back to you that's been scattered or that has been from the past and has been unfortunate. It will rewrite its code. Okay. It's going to rewrite its code and new things are going to start happening. So take care of yourself, call back your energy. And when you feel like, I feel balanced. Okay. All right. I feel like I've had a couple weeks where I'm balanced. Start manifesting and trying again and really look at the difference and understand your power within that. And I'm going to give that to you. And hopefully that makes sense to integrate once more and compare your notes. And if you have note crossovers, let me know. I'm always very fascinated. And thank you so much. Courtney, my lighthouse sees your lighthouse. Let's light it up, right? Okay. All right. And oh, here's another comment. You feel already. Thank you so much. Sometimes I have pulled back down here. You do that very well. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, I mean, when it gets overwhelming, we pull back. So then we got to recoup and give ourselves time and healing and know that we have to put that energy back into ourselves and then we go back at it again. That's understandable. That's understandable. So, all my love to you, Courtney. Hey, Jesse. Hey, Shannon. Hey, Pamela. Hello, hello. Hey, Raven. Just making sure I say hi to everybody. Oh, and you're welcome, Iris. Thank you, thank you. I want to say hi to everybody who is in here. Love to Maggie Martin. I want to go to Sheann Preach It. Sheann. And if anyone has a question too within their numbers, ask away, or I can just do a general. All right, let's go into it. So, Sheann, you're January 8th, 1991, attitude 9, personal day 8, life path 2. Yep, life path 2. And you're a cycle of 8. And so, right. All right. So, I'm just looking at everything for a second. There's an invitation for May to be like a little bit fun and easy breezy and to go and expand your energy. Okay. There's an invitation within that, I say, because last month was a little bit heavy, a little bit intense, and there's been fluctuation for the year because of that. So let me just look at March and February. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I feel like there's been fluctuations this year. I feel like if you can understand in January, it was like you wanted to get really like certain. You wanted to get really certain and lined up and your ducks in a row. And it was just like, now things are up and down, things are up and down. And I do feel like this year is like calling for you to be like, relax. It will get in order. Relax. It will get in order. Okay. And it's just a matter of some like internal work and patience and timing. Okay. So it's like, as long as you've done everything that you need to do, all right, and you are responsible and accountable for that, it will come back around. It will come back around. But right, don't stress about it, okay? Because I feel like there's things. Oh, Cheyenne, thank you for letting me know how to pronounce your name. Because there's a lot of variables that don't completely connect to just you being in the equation. Okay. And so he's still trying to get everything in order for sure. Well, I feel like it's not just you in the equation. So I'm just gonna keep saying that. Okay. Um, I feel like part of you saying that is like because you want to be feeling of clearer mind. I feel like you felt like you've been a little cloudy, that like, your energies haven't been consistent. So you're like, what is it? What is it? But that's getting in order. But there's other things around, like within business. It's like, can you understand like there's something connected to business or within family where you have to wait on the outcome of? There's like a question mark around that. So I'm just getting like a piece of that for whatever reason that needs to come into the mix. Let's just talk about your energy for a little bit. So I do know that you're a very thoughtful person, um, and that you're very invested in either helping others or sometimes protecting yourself from others, because you're such a sensitive person and you're aware of people so much. Um, your attitude 9 means that you see the world in quite a unique way, and you had to like grow and survive at an earlier age than others. So you have like a very unconventional way which in which you handle a lot of things. So it makes you very creative and makes people actually seek out the way that you do things, because they're like, how did you do that, Cheyenne? um, and you create a lot of beauty from chaos or hardship. Okay. So I want to say, like, I want to give you a pat on the back, because I feel like you're always getting something done. You're always getting something done. Even when you say, there's a lot of things that I'm waiting on and things are coming together, you're always getting something done. I feel like you're always busy, even when things are not in line. You said you're good. True. I'm good at turning a negative into a positive. Yeah, you really are. You really are. And you do that like internally, but also you do that like with like actually like your environment or the energy that you bring people, or like the little things that you create along the way. You're very creative like that. So it's like physical things as well that you transform. Um I want to say too, you have a life path too. So part of the reason why sometimes people are like, wow, when is it going to hit when they have life path too, is because their energy is so empathic and sensitive that a lot of times they're picking up the energy of other people. And so there needs to be additional resources within you understanding intuition, you protecting your energy, and you grounding yourself, especially because you have a 9 and a 2, because you'll always be pulled into other people's stuff. And then you'll have to go, oh, okay, hold on a second. And you won't even realize it's happening. Even when you have your boundary up, sometimes you'll feel off for no reason. You'll feel tired for no reason. You'll feel even um, pressure in certain places of your body for no reason. And it's because the 2 is made to be a barometer of energy in order to help others and improve environments. And so, in order to do that, you have to go, wow, something's not right here with a person or a location. You go, something's not right here. Something needs to be fixed. We can change this. We can improve this. Right. And unfortunately, if we don't know about that with our energy, we will get that information by feeling like kind of out of whack a lot. Out of whack and kind of crappy is the word for it. Okay. Um, yes. And so 2 is the most sensitive number within the body, and so it needs proper nutrition. Everybody needs proper nutrition, but it's very, very sensitive to lack of nutrition, sleep, and putting itself into environments where it's being overworked. Okay. So the 2 is not supposed to be a workhorse. The 2 is supposed to be the feeler. The 2 is supposed to be um, the person that goes, oh, all of a sudden I have a lot of information. Let me share this because I am valuable with my feelings and understandings. Okay. Because you are already getting an information overload on the inside, and all that is so very valuable. So it needs to be shared more, your insights, and you need to protect your body to make sure it is a cleaner tool and also not so overburdened. Because if you're doing physical labor on top of being so sensitive, you're gonna double burn yourself out. Okay. You said I thought I was a life path 11. At least that's what I'm always comes up when I look into it. I when I look into it. Great question. So yes. Almost all 2s are 11s. Almost all 2s are 11s. The only time someone wouldn't be an 11 is if they're a 20, for instance, or something like that, that adds up to a 200. Um, so most 2s feel very restless because of that. Most 2s are very sensitive because they have a little bit of an extra weight and responsibility of wanting to help others. So a 2 comes with the 11 most times. Okay. So you're not wrong. But since most 11s are 2s, that's why sometimes I just talk about it being a 2. Okay. It said, my job is a physical job. I've been there for 11 years. Um, I would have to look at your other numbers. I would have to look at your other numbers. Let me see for a second. 195. Okay. Just looking at your name, if that's the name that you go by, you're 6. This is assuming your name right now, how it's coming up on Facebook, is the name that you go by in real life. Um, with that said, you have a soul 6. Okay. You have a soul 6, and your soul 6 would help bolster you having an extra energy reserve for helping others. But what happens is when you're off the clock, you'll feel incredibly burnt out. You'll have a burst of energy, and then you'll feel incredibly burnt out. So it like teeter totters and seesaws. And so I think it's really important that you are in some type of role where you can be like selfless and nurturing. That's very important for you and how your numbers come up. But if you can um, find yourself in ways where you're getting help for physical tasks, or that you are part of a team for physical tasks, because your energy is actually to lead and to catch and to nurture and to understand, um, by relaying information for others. This is how we can most effectively help this person, rather than taking on the physical load of that as well, because it will burn you out a little faster having that life path too. You have the 9 and the 6, at least that I see, to help. you out a little bit in this capacity. You said, I've been in nursing between my last three kids since October, definitely struggling to keep up with the nutrition. That for myself. I work at an assisted living home, not in the nursing department, though. I've got it. I'm just relaying what I see. You said even in nursing, but in assisted living. Got it. Got it. Okay. Well, if there is a way to communicate additional help, because I do feel like you take on too much, and an attitude nine would. An attitude nine takes on additional responsibilities and is not paid accordingly, or takes on additional responsibilities and just goes, well, you know, I don't know how to go about asking for help with people who should know that I need help. It seems like they wouldn't be open to understanding sometimes. But this calls for changing what you know is good for you in your favor. So you talked about how you have a talent for making things negative to positive. Well, please do that with your body and your environment and the role that you choose to work in. Take those negative or difficult, I want to say more so difficult experiences that you're still saying, this is a little bit too much for me, and turn it into luck and turn it into a positivity of, I'm going to get myself out of some of these hard spots and make sure I have the proper help, or even change the role of how I do things every day. I don't have to do it quite this way. Let me delegate some of this and I'll take on something that's easier for me instead. Let me do a trade. Let me make a trade at hand. Okay. First comment is nursing as in breastfeeding to clarify that. Okay, cool. I appreciate the clarification. But I do want to give to you, there needs to be a change in what everything that you do within your role. There needs to be like a swap, a help, a slight tweak, a change, and continue to look after your health, your nutrition, and your sleep to balance how you feel after work. And I do feel like there are things coming back around. I do feel like financials are going to be looked at more this year too as well. And so put yourself in a place where that you're ready to look at that, because I feel things can go in your favor more with how things come if you're kind of ready. What I'm saying is look at investments, um, and delegate things accordingly. Okay. So this is a lot this year about what needs to change for things to be easier for the next 2 years. What needs to change. Okay. And I'm going to give that to you like that. So hopefully that makes sense, Cheyenne. And please let me know if it does. All right. All right. So Tony, did you put down your numbers? And then Maggie had a question. Maggie had a question. Where are you, Maggie? Maggie. He said, I'd love to know this month and year how to look at my numbers. Feeling like there's a huge shift starting soon. Okay. Where are your numbers, Maggie? If you want to share them, let's go find them. Hello, Jennifer. Shout out to Jennifer. Hello, hello. Let's say some hellos. Hello, Adele, I think. Adele and Jennifer. It's great to see Jennifer. Jennifer's awesome. Let's see. And then hello, Tony. Thank you for everybody coming on in. Hello, Debbie. Hello, hello. All right. So thank you, Maggie. All right, let's look at them. All right. So September. So you're an attitude 8. You are a personal day 8. You are think a life path 7. Yep, that's right. And then you are in a cycle of 7 as well. So lots of 7 and 8. And so let's just look at kind of your year a little bit. Um, all right. Okay. All right. So what is happening, Maggie? One of the shifts that is happening now is that there is a lot of space for you to grow spiritually and have epiphanies. So cycle sevens create a lot of time and mental focus. And so people who are already spiritually present, they feel like that they can have a shift, that they can have the clarity that they've been waiting to have, because we have to make space for it. We have to make There's like a billion other things going on in just our lives, even if we have a goal to, I guess, change or implement. So it's very much the place for it right now. Okay, you can understand that. Those are big numbers for me too, the sevens and eights. That's really cool. I mean, usually it's kind of funny. Usually within our birth chart, those numbers find us elsewhere. So it's no coincidence that you have sevens or eights usually popping up for you in various forms in other ways. So I love hearing that when people identify that. So you're an attitude 8. And so being an attitude 8, like you like precision. You like to line things up in a way where they're going to work well. And so earlier in life, you were very hard on yourself because you wanted things to be done right. And you were always looking at the best way and the best people to surround yourself around, because you're just like, I want to figure it out from that guy. Okay. You say, okay, yes, constantly, yes. And so you're in a place to continue to do that today. But the best person to figure it out from now is you, in the vein of spirituality. Okay, so it's not. I mean, it can be a book. It can be a teacher. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. But right now, and going into next year, and I feel like there's been like a lesson learned within this, that the best epiphanies you're going to have are going to come from you. So it's interesting because all of a sudden I'm like flashed like Jesus. I don't know if that's somebody you pray to, or someone who's like come in through like channelings or downloads, but all of a sudden like I see like Jesus. And even though you are looking to your higher self, you are getting help from the masters. And so you are asking them to come to you and send you guidance. And I feel like there is even past life connection, if you can understand this, that you've been tapping into with your journey of going, okay, who am I? And where am I going next? And what have I come from and learned from? Came from and learned from. And this is like going back to past life knowledge. And like for some reason, I'm seeing this through, is this like Spain, like Rome, Spain? I don't know. It's just like architecture that reminds me of like really, really far back, like around those times, somewhere in Europe. Um, and these certain lessons like are bridging over to now of where you have found yourself in lifetime. So I just want validation within that, and to go deeper, continue to go deeper, and kind of like be baptized within the waters of finding yourself through all the lifetimes, and seeing where you need to go next. So that comes into play really strongly. Um, but ultimately, it is last month was a very intense time. I feel I feel like, can you understand how you're like emotional, so like you cried more last, so this is April, you could call it still part of this month, but it was almost like you were just like way more emotional, way more sensitive, and so that you cried more, or even you were more affected by allergies, like your body was more sensitive. You can understand this. Okay. So it was just a very porous month. It was a very porous month, and we're getting into then May for you, and the energy is gonna like lift off a little again. So um it's almost interesting because it's going to feel a little bit confusing this month. There's a part of you that wants to get out and have a little fun, but there's a part of you that is going to be protecting your time, your own place. So do a little bit of both. Do a little both. Trust your intuition. I'm just encouraging you to like kind of get out a little bit. Get out. And I feel like when you got out last month, it was just like, ugh, I'm so tired and I'm overwhelmed. But I feel like it goes a little bit better this month. So just do a sprinkling of that because we just need a little sprinkling of that. Um, you're dehydrated from the tears. Okay. There's gonna be less tears this month, I really feel. Frustration, but it's like gonna be like uncomfortably fun at times, but not as emotional. All right. So just like I'm letting you know the energy forecast specifically for you. Um, but really it is a very transformational time for you, and I encourage you. I talk about journaling a lot here, but I encourage you to like take documentation, because when we have a lot of sevens going on, we're very sharp, we're very clear, we feel wise, and you can get some really really good insights from now and in the future. So um, make some predictions for yourself, make some manifestation. It's very powerful work right now, and into next year will be like the height of that reconstructing before you are transforming into that next phase of yourself. Right now, you're being like the alchemist. So step into the role of the alchemist. All right, cool. So I'm glad that you understand. Awesome. You keep hearing that. Well, girl, take it. Take it. And if you go by the name Maggie Martin, because some people might go by Margaret, so this isn't, I'm just letting you know, this isn't accurate if you go by a different name on normal. But if you do go by Maggie Martin, um, then your soul, so it makes you very happy to be kind to others, and it makes you very um, a special place in your soul knowing that you can help others. Um, and to do that, you have to be balanced within yourself. So I do really feel like you have an opportunity if you want to. After whether you already are doing it now and it's just going to be in an increased form, or you haven't done it yet, I just feel like it's going to increase what you can have the opportunity for of volunteering, or helping people in a role of like within their spirituality or giving back. And I feel that gets heightened within you. So right now it's just kind of going within more, and then in about 2 years it's really going to be how you actually are going to be part of the community more. Okay. And much more, I want to give back, and so I'm going to get that out there, and know that this is a very growing time for you. Yes, and you'll continue to do that. You'll continue to do that. You'll be like, I've done. You'll get into a place where you're like, I'm going to continue to do the work, but I've done enough work where I'm going to take a break from the work for a little bit, and I'm going to go out into the world and share what I've known, share what I found. Okay, absolutely. Thank you, Maggie. Thank you so much. Thank you, Stephanie. That's really kind. It's really, really, really kind. I really appreciate your heart. All right. So let's. Hello, Barbara. Hello, everybody coming on in. I'm going to do a quick one with Tony here. Tony, let's see. You said Life Path 8, and you were asking about something really quick. So let me get your numbers. Tony, you are an Attitude 5, Personal Day 2, and Yep. Life path 8, cycle 4. What did you, and your question was? Those two are big numbers for me. The eights and the sevens. Okay. Yeah. We have double meanings over here. Whatever insight would be appreciated. I'm just making sure he didn't ask me something prior. September and this month, something significant. That's what you asked. Let me look. So cycle 4 and all right. So in this month, you're gonna be in a 9. And then in September, you're gonna be a 4. Okay. And so if you were looking for some type of change with moving or career, that would be very in line with some of these numbers supporting that. Um, like when anytime you have like a 4, a 5, or a 9, that is major change in career or change in self. So that can come out. So that's just me kind of being general with you for a second, Tony. And then let me find where you are because I was looking where you were with your questions earlier. You're like into mediumship, clairs, channeling. So is your question you're wondering about mediumship and like how your numbers and how things are going to develop? Is that your question, Tony? I'm just making sure that I'm in line with it before I dive in. Let me know if you're still there, Tony. But anyway, what I'm seeing is so you have a spirit and an energy that um, it can't be bored. You're always into something. You're always researching something. You're always looking into something. You're always doing something. And so within your life path, like really it's important that your like tenacity and all the enthusiasm that you have is put to something where you can lead or help others lead who are already doing it. So it's like you are basically in charge, helping another person's vision, but you're still in charge, or you are running your own vision. So, 8 in life path signifies management or entrepreneurship or business. Okay. So it's very important that you get things going and you get things started and you make space for it. That's what's coming up the most within your chart. You asked about those months, and basically things are coming to a close so you can make space for the next project. And in September, it will very support itself to start to have movement and legs. So September into September, October, yeah. Into October, you will have space for the project to actually come into fruition. So you can understand this. Okay. As long as you can understand it. Um, okay. But yes, things are wrapping up and the let's see, it's May, June. In June, you're gonna have this fire within you to go, okay, for the next 4 months, 5 months, here we go. I'm devoted to this project. Here we go. So you're gonna need a 4 to 5 month window to get this off the ground and to start a new chapter and a new phase with the project. And I feel like this is something regarding business, which would make you money, which would help others. So if you can understand this, Tony, I'm giving that to you, and there you go. All right. Um, Hello, Melinda. I'm going to say hello to everyone coming on. Hello, Tina. Hello, Melinda. Hello, Jennifer. Hi, everybody. Oh gosh, so we're wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up. But I will be here. I'm going to be doing the psychic hour this week too. So I'll be doing readings on Friday with everybody. So please come on in. I'll do a real quick one for Jennifer. Just a real quick thing off the dome. So your attitude 4. Okay, so anything that you're doing within life, Jennifer, as long as you have an organized, planned approach, that is a sign that things are in order for it to go well. Okay, so your attitude, your approach to life. Um, if you have, like, let's say, if your space is in order, um, if you have your diary or calendar all mapped out for the next week and the next month, even 2 months, it means that your energy is in the perfect place to manifest. Four needs plans. It's a number of space and time and architecture. So it's all about, if you build, they will come. Well, you have to build and you have to tee up everything that you're making, and then the rest will be magnetized to you. If you find yourself overwhelmed or scattered or unorganized, that means that your environment and self doesn't have what is a piece of its superpower to conduct. So reorganize or know with confidence, okay, I have this in place. Let's do this. This is a sign where my energy is ready to go. I'm in alignment. So, and I say that because other numbers don't need so much organization, and certain numbers really do. Certain numbers need things to thrive. Okay, so and with that 17, you come in with big energy. People value your mind and your unconventional and creative approaches to things. Okay, you actually come with actually a lot of emotional and intuitive approaches, but people think it's because you strategized it with your mind. Take it. As long as you get a seat to the table and they value what you have to say and it works, take it and run with it. But your energy is very good for people to listen to you. So continue to do what you need to take care of yourself so you can walk in the room with confidence, because you have a personal day 8. And a personal day 8 radiates confidence and power very, very well. It's just the secret sauce to that is you have to be feeling that yourself, because an 8 amplifies anything that is is already in the house and environment with others. So 88 radiates power. So if you have power and confidence, that's one of the things that it really, really broadcasts, as well as the other energies present within you. So when people feel 8 energy, they feel manager, boss, CEO energy. They feel like that person's in charge or has the capacity to be in charge. And so people will kind of feel like, oh, I better listen, or they might rebel because anti-authority for some people, but you have in charge energy. So use that to your advantage, and really know that people are listening to you because they feel like you have their best interests at heart, and also you have the smarts to take them where they need to go. So I'm going to give that to you, Jennifer. Absolutely. And okay, hey, Rose. Hey, really quick. Hey, thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Courtney. But hey, Rose. I haven't seen Rose in forever. What's up, girl? I'm closing out the show, Rose. But you do numerology. Cool. I'm gonna have to we'll have you on, Rose. We can do some numerology together. What do you say? Tell me if you're up for it. Um, Rose is awesome. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Jennifer. Hey, Jessica. And please have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday. You'll see me on Friday for the psychic hour. And then you'll see me next week. My guest is Michael Christopher. He was in the house just a second ago. So shout out to Michael Christopher. And then we have more lovely guests coming throughout the month. So May is going to be a good month. It's going to be a good month. Oh, here he is. What's up, Michael Christopher? What's up? Hey. Hey, Rose. That's right. Reach out. I'll reach out too. Send in lots of love. With that said, please go with love, luck, light, everybody, and don't forget to live. I will see you on Friday. Take care. Bye.